Kailyn Lowry's son Elliot Rivera reveals how Dad Joe and family reacted to him coming out. It was very awkward. Kailyn Lowry's son, Elliot Rivera, has taken a bold step in sharing his personal journey of coming out as queer. In recent interviews and social media posts, the teenager revealed how he came to terms with his identity and how his father, Joe Rivera, and the rest of the family reacted when he shared the news. While some responses were supportive, others, particularly from Joe, were described by Elliot as very awkward. This revelation comes at a time when Elliot is navigating not only his sexual identity, but also the complexities of growing up in the public eye. As a child of two reality TV stars, Kailyn Lowry, best known for her time on Teen Mom 2, and Joe Rivera, who gained fame through Teen Mom, young and pregnant, and later Teen Mom, OG Elliot has lived much of his life under a spotlight that often feels intrusive and judgmental. Elliot, now 16 years old, explained that he had been aware of his queer identity for quite some time before deciding to come out publicly. Like many teens, especially those in high-profile families, he wrestled with questions about self-acceptance, fear of rejection, and the pressure of living up to expectations set by his parents' pasts. He admitted that while he felt confident in who he was internally, it took time to feel safe enough to share that truth with the people closest to him. "I've known I was different for a long time," Elliot told an online interviewer. "But telling people, especially my dad and mom, was really hard. I didn't know how they'd react. I mean, you never do." He said he first confided in his mother, Kailyn, because he felt she would be more emotionally available and understanding. Kailyn, who has spoken openly about her own struggles with mental health and parenting during her time on Teen Mom 2, responded with love and support. She encouraged Elliot to take his time and assured him that nothing would change how much she loved him. "It was emotional," Elliot recalled. "But in a good way. My mom cried a little. But she hugged me and told me she was proud of me. That made things easier." Coming out to his father, Joe Rivera, however, was a completely different experience. Elliot described the conversation as very awkward and admitted that Joe seemed unsure how to respond. According to Elliot, Joe didn't reject him or say anything hurtful, but he also didn't offer the same level of warmth and affirmation that Kailyn did. "It wasn't bad, just awkward," Elliot said. "Like he didn't know what to say. He asked me if I was sure. I told him I was." He said he needed time to process it. Joe Rivera, who has built a career around being a tough love figure on reality television, has often portrayed himself as strict and traditional, especially when it comes to parenting. While he has expressed pride in Elliot over the years, particularly regarding his athletic achievements and maturity, this moment seemed to reveal a generational and ideological gap between father and son. Elliot noted that Joe eventually came around, though the conversations remained somewhat strained. He started saying stuff like, "I still love you," which was nice, but it felt like he was trying to convince himself as much as me, Elliot added. The reaction from other members of the family varied. Elliot said his maternal grandmother, Barbara Lowry, was incredibly supportive and even gave him advice about staying true to himself. "She told me that being yourself is the most important thing, no matter what anyone else thinks," he said. However, some extended relatives weren't as accepting. Elliot mentioned that certain cousins and uncles made comments that were either dismissive or overly curious. "Some people treated it like it was a phase or something weird," he said. "That sucked." Still, Elliot emphasized that the overall response from his immediate family was more positive than negative. He credited his younger siblings Isaiah, Lux, and Gavin for being open-minded and nonchalant about the whole thing. "They didn't care. They just wanted to know if I was happy," he laughed. Some viewers praised him for his bravery and maturity, applauding him for speaking out despite the pressures of his upbringing. Others, unfortunately, took to social media to make insensitive or judgmental remarks about his identity and choices. Elliot, however, has learned to tune out the negativity. "You can't control what people say online," he said. "But I'm not ashamed of who I am. If people don't like it, that's their problem, not mine. He also used his platform to encourage other young people struggling with their identities to seek support and find communities where they feel accepted. It's okay to be scared, he said. But you're not alone. There are people out there who get it. Being the child of reality stars has always meant that Elliot's life has been subject to scrutiny. From custody battles to schoolyard drama, nearly every aspect of his childhood has played out on national television. Now, as he enters his teenage years, Elliot is trying to assert his independence and carve out a life beyond the shadow of his parents' fame. I want to be known for who I am, not just because of who my parents are, he said. I have my own dreams and goals. I want to be successful on my own terms. Despite the challenges, Elliot remains focused on his education and personal growth. He's involved in sports, music, and creative writing interests that allow him to express himself outside of the family narrative. He's also considering pursuing a career in entertainment, though he wants to avoid the pitfalls of reality TV. I might want to act or do something behind the camera, he said. But I don't want to live my life for ratings. While Elliot acknowledges that coming out created some tension within his family, particularly with his father, he remains hopeful that their relationship will continue to grow stronger. He understands that Joe comes from a different generation and background, one where discussions about sexuality weren't as open or accepted. He's learning, Elliot said. And I appreciate that. It's not perfect, but we're working on it. Kailyn, too, has been a source of strength for Elliot during this transition. She's consistently defended her son against criticism online and has used her own experiences to help guide him through difficult moments. My mom has been through so much herself, Elliot said. So she knows what it's like to be judged unfairly. Together, Elliot and Kailyn have grown closer than ever. Their bond, forged through years of public turmoil and private struggles, has become a foundation of trust and mutual respect. Elliot's decision to speak openly about his sexuality is significant not just for his personal growth, but for the visibility of LGBTQ+ youth, especially those from unconventional or high-profile backgrounds. By stepping into the light and sharing his story, he's helping break down stigmas and showing others that it's possible to embrace your true self, even in the face of adversity. I know not everyone gets the support they need, Elliot said. But I want to be someone people can look up to. If my story helps even one person feel less alone, then it's worth it. His message resonates with countless teenagers who are still figuring out who they are in a world that often demands conformity. Elliot's courage serves as a reminder that authenticity, though sometimes uncomfortable, is ultimately liberating. As Elliot continues to navigate adolescence, he remains grounded in his values and aspirations. He's determined to build a future that reflects his passions, talents, and identity on his own terms. And while his family may not always agree or understand everything about his journey, they are slowly learning to accept and support him. In the end, Elliot Rivera's story is not just about coming out, it's about resilience, growth, and the power of self-expression. It's about finding your voice in a world that often tries to silence it. And above all, it's about love, the kind that endures even when things get awkward. Tyler Baltierra admits his biological daughter blocked him on Instagram in a recent and deeply emotional revelation. Tyler Baltierra, known for his role on the hit and TV reality show Teen Mom Og, has publicly admitted that his biological daughter blocked him on Instagram. This news has sent shockwaves through fans of the franchise and those who have followed his personal journey over the years. The confession came during an interview or social media post where Tyler opened up about the strained relationship with his daughter and the pain that comes with being cut off from her life. For many, this admission is heartbreaking, especially considering the long-standing narrative around Tyler's life. He was once seen as the boyfriend of Kailyn Lowry, navigating the challenges of teenage parenthood while dealing with his own troubled past. Over the years, however, Tyler's public image has shifted dramatically, particularly after he revealed in 2017 that he was not, in fact, the biological father of the couple's adopted daughter, Carly. That bombshell changed everything, not just for Kailyn and Tyler, but also for the biological parents, Beth and Randy Brazel, who had been part of the adoption process. Now, nearly a decade later, Tyler is facing yet another painful chapter, one involving the child who shares his DNA. Tyler Baltierra first entered the spotlight in 2009 when Teen Mom debuted, chronicling the lives of several young mothers, including Kailyn Lowell, as they navigated the trials of early parenthood. At the time, it was believed that Tyler was the biological father of their daughter, Carly. However, that narrative took a sharp turn in 2017 when Tyler revealed that a DNA test had confirmed he was not Carly's biological father. Instead, it was discovered that Kailyn had become pregnant by another man before getting back together with Tyler, and he had unknowingly raised the child as his own. The fallout was immediate and dramatic. Tyler and Kailyn faced intense scrutiny from fans and the media, and their marriage was put to the test like never before. Despite the turmoil, the couple decided to stay together and continue raising Carly as their own, even though Tyler no longer shared a biological connection to the child. Meanwhile, the real biological parents were identified as Beth and Randy Brazel, who had maintained contact with Kailyn and Tyler for some time after the adoption. But the story didn't end there. In the years that followed, Tyler began building a relationship with the daughter. He was biologically connected to the daughter, born to Beth, and Randy's biological daughter, Brianna. Brianna had given birth as a teenager and placed her baby up for adoption. When she eventually reconnected with her birth parents, it led to the discovery that Tyler was, in fact, the girl's biological father. This revelation brought Tyler into the life of his biological daughter, a girl whose name remains private, out of respect for her privacy and well-being. For a time, Tyler attempted to form a bond with her, sharing glimpses of their interactions on social media and expressing hope that they could build a meaningful relationship. Despite his efforts, Tyler now admits that things haven't gone as he hoped. During a candid moment, he shared that his biological daughter recently blocked him on Instagram. While blocking someone on social media might seem like a small thing to outsiders, for Tyler, it represents something much deeper, a sign that the relationship between them may be broken beyond repair. "I don't know what I did wrong," Tyler said during a video posted online. "I've always tried to be kind, to support her, to let her know I'm here if she ever needs me." But apparently that wasn't enough. Fans reacted immediately to his words, with many expressing sympathy for Tyler and others questioning whether there might be more to the story. Some speculated that the daughter may have been overwhelmed by the complexities of their situation, or perhaps felt pressured by Tyler's attempts to connect. Others pointed out that being the biological child of a reality TV personality can come with its own set of challenges, including unwanted attention and pressure to maintain a certain relationship dynamic. What makes this situation even more complicated is the broader context of Tyler's life. He has openly struggled with mental health issues, addiction, and feelings of inadequacy throughout his adult life. His journey has often been messy, filled with relapses and setbacks, but also moments of growth and self-reflection. Now, at 34 years old, he finds himself grappling with yet another heartbreak, one that cuts deep because it involves family, identity, and the desire to be loved and accepted. So what exactly happened between Tyler and his biological daughter? Unfortunately, details remain scarce. Tyler has chosen not to share too many specifics, likely out of respect for the young woman's privacy. However, based on what he has said publicly, it seems clear that the relationship was never fully stable or secure. There were moments of connection, small conversations, shared photos, and even visits, but those moments appear to have been fleeting. As the daughter grew older, she may have begun to wrestle with her own emotions regarding her origins. Questions like, "Why was I given up for adoption?" Or, "What does it mean that my biological father is someone I barely know?" can weigh heavily on a person, especially during adolescence and young adulthood. Additionally, Tyler's status as a public figure may have made things more difficult. Having your parentage revealed in headlines and discussed on reality TV isn't something most people experience, and it can create a sense of exposure and vulnerability that's hard to navigate. It's possible that Tyler's daughter simply wanted to live her life without the added scrutiny that comes with having a famous biological father. On the other hand, Tyler may have misstepped in how he approached their relationship. In trying to make up for lost time, he might have come on too strong or failed to recognize her boundaries. Building trust takes time, especially in situations where biology doesn't automatically equate to closeness or familiarity. It's also worth noting that Tyler has a history of making impulsive decisions and struggling with emotional regulation. While he has worked hard to improve himself over the years, these patterns may have resurfaced in his attempts to connect with his daughter. If she perceived his actions as intrusive or overwhelming, it would make sense that she chose to distance herself entirely. Losing contact with his biological daughter has clearly affected Tyler deeply. In his interviews and social media posts, he has spoken about feeling hurt, confused, and ultimately powerless in the situation. There's a rawness to his words that suggests this isn't just about pride or ego, it's about love, longing, and the human need to feel connected to our roots. "I thought maybe we could have something real," he said in one video. "Not just for me, but for her too. I wanted her to know she had someone who truly cared about her, no matter what. But maybe she doesn't want that from me." These sentiments highlight the emotional complexity of donor-conceived and adoptive relationships. Just because two people are biologically related doesn't mean they'll automatically form a bond. Sometimes, despite good intentions, the pieces just don't fit together. For Tyler, this rejection adds another layer to the already complex grief he carries. He has mourned the loss of his assumed fatherhood of Carly, dealt with the betrayal of learning he wasn't her biological father, and now faces the pain of being rejected by the child who is biologically his. It's a cruel twist of fate, one that leaves him questioning his place in the world and his ability to be a father. As Tyler processes this new reality, fans and followers are left wondering what comes next. Will he try to reconnect with his daughter in the future, or will he accept that this chapter of his life has closed? And how will this affect his relationship with Kailyn, who has supported him through so many ups and downs? Kailyn, for her part, has remained largely silent on the issue, choosing not to comment publicly about Tyler's daughter. Given their history of working through difficult times together, it's likely that she is offering him emotional support behind the scenes. Their marriage has endured countless storms, and this latest challenge may be just another test of their commitment to each other. Ultimately, Tyler must find a way to grieve this loss and move forward without letting it consume him. He has spoken before about the importance of therapy, self-care, and spiritual growth, and now more than ever, those tools will be essential. Healing from rejection, especially from family, is never easy, but it is possible. He may also choose to channel his pain into advocacy, using his platform to raise awareness about the complexities of adoption, donor conception, and non-traditional family dynamics. By sharing his story, he could help others who are going through similar struggles feel less alone. Tyler Baltierra's admission that his biological daughter blocked him on Instagram is more than just a tabloid headline, it's a poignant reminder of the fragility of human connection. Relationships, especially those built on biology rather than lived experience, can be incredibly delicate. They require patience, understanding, and mutual consent to flourish. While Tyler may never fully understand why his daughter chose to cut ties, he can take solace in knowing that he tried. He reached out, he offered love, and he gave her space to define the terms of their relationship. That, in itself, is an act of courage and maturity. Jenelle Evans shares if she'll return to MTV after Teen Mom exit. Closed chapter. Jenelle Evans, once one of the most recognizable faces of MTV's Teen Mom franchise, has been open about her complicated relationship with reality television and the network that launched her into the public eye. After years in the spotlight, the former Teen Mom star has made it clear that returning to MTV is not in her future, at least not anytime soon. In a recent interview, Evans was asked if she would consider rejoining the Teen Mom universe or any other NTV production. Her response was definitive. "It's a closed chapter," she said, reflecting on her time with the show and explaining why revisiting it isn't something she wants for herself or her family. For many fans who have followed Jenelle's journey since her debut on 16 and Pregnant in 2010, this statement may come as bittersweet news. Over the past decade, Jenelle has grown from a teenage mother navigating early fame to a more mature woman trying to rebuild her life after numerous personal struggles. Her evolution has been both inspiring and controversial, making her one of the most talked about figures in reality TV history. Jenelle first entered the public eye at just 18 years old when she appeared on the third season of 16 and Pregnant, a show designed to highlight the realities of teen pregnancy. Her raw honesty and unfiltered personality quickly caught the attention of viewers, leading to her inclusion in the spin-off series Teen Mom. Alongside Farrah Abraham, Amber Portwood, and Kailyn Lowry, Jenelle became part of a new generation of young mothers navigating parenthood under the lens of reality television. Over the years, her life unfolded publicly through relationships, custody battles, legal troubles, and personal growth. While some criticized her parenting choices and lifestyle, others admired her resilience and willingness to share her mistakes openly. NTV played a significant role in shaping Jenelle's public persona, but it also brought intense scrutiny. The constant media attention took a toll, especially when combined with real-life challenges such as substance abuse, domestic violence allegations, and ongoing custody issues involving her children, Jace, Kaiser, and Ensley. By 2020, Jenelle had decided to step back from the limelight. In a surprise move, she announced her departure from Teen Mom 2, effectively ending her long-standing association with the franchise. At the time, she cited the need to focus on her mental health and her children as the primary reasons for leaving. "I've been doing this show for over 10 years, she explained during an emotional Instagram live session. "I'm tired. I don't want my kids growing up thinking cameras are normal."